Hi, this is Sheldon here from the Currency Advisory Desk. Well, the US dollar index is at 80.47, which is up by 0.15% today. Now, after last week's rally in risk currencies, markets look to cool off or consolidate a little bit. Just to recap, last week markets cheered the new bond buying program which was introduced by Mario Draghi, the outright monetary transactions as it's known as, or OMTs. And after that event, all eyes were focused on the US jobs data, which was very disappointing. Even though the unemployment rate came down at around 8.1% versus 8.3% expected, we saw that the number of people looking for jobs has dropped significantly. So this is a fundamental change in the US economy which will hamper the growth of US economy as such. The point to note is that this particular instance has however increases the chances of a further round of quantitative easing. The market has already begun to factor this in, and we can see that anticipation is being built up for the FOMC meet, which is going to be held on 13th of this month, so this weekend on Thursday that is. Now we see a bearish pattern emerging in US dollar versus the rupee pair and see the major support at around 55 levels, which is a major psychological mark also, the 55 level barrier that is. One can presently sell at current market price for a target of around 55, because we've seen that at 55 usually there's a U-turn and always the dollar rebounds versus the rupee. Looking at the Eurozone, well, the major court decision by Germany pertaining to the ESM mechanism is due on 12th of this month, and the euro is expected to take cues from this and trade against the dollar. We expect the euro to remain range bound between 1.27 to 1.28 internationally. However, if the ESM is delayed, the implementation of ESM that is, then there will be a domino effect, and we will see that the other factors, that is Draghi's OMTs, will come into action much later. In fact, this will not happen until and unless the EFSF and ESM is in action. Now, if this happens, we will see the euro nosedive to around 1.25 levels internationally. However, if we look at it, the possibility of this scenario has a very low probability, and we expect the euro to breach 1.300 levels internationally. Domestically also, the euro looks a bit strong against the rupee. If there's any indication of a smoothing of global financial crisis, risk assets, that is the euro or the pound, they will have a good run up. And we have witnessed this phenomenon recently, wherein the decision that came out after Mario Draghi spoke about OMTs, we saw that there was a huge rally in euro and pound. And also the precious metals, that is gold and silver, also had a very good run. Now globally, if we look at China's trade surplus has widened in August from $26.7 billion against $25.1 billion in July on falling imports. We can see that industrial production in China also has continued to slow for the month of August, and while inflation has showed some signs of rising. This is upsetting for the global markets, because what is happening is that if there is a demand lag, or if there is any sort of growth dehamper happening in China, we will see the effects on global equities and global currencies immediately. Looking at Japan, well, for the yen, we've got information that Japan has posted a current account surplus of 625.4 billion yen. Now, this is stronger than economics expectations of what economics expected, economists that is, but it is lower compared to a year earlier, wherein the figures were 40.6% higher. Now, this shows that there is a slowdown in Japanese economy, and we expect the yen to give up some of its gains, and probably we can go short in the yen versus the rupee pair. As far as the pound is concerned, well, the pound is trading at highs of around 1.600. There is no major news coming from the British economy in the coming few days, and everyone will be looking at the German court ruling and what is going to happen with the US market scenario as such. Looking at the technical levels for today, well, the dollar is trading, the support is at 55.25 level on the downside, and we see a resistance of around 55.66 for the spot dollar. For the euro, well, the spot looks at 70.5 for a support, and upwards we see a resistance at around 71.5. Well, we are bullish on the euro and the pound, and for the euro we feel that you can probably buy at around 70.95 to 96 levels. And for the pound, you can probably, there is a buy at around 88.70 levels. Now for the yen, we are bearish, and we can see that there is an important support at around 70.44. If it breaks this particular support, we can go ahead and short sell the yen. Well, that's it for today. Thank you.